Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that affects all of us, our digital identity. You know, who you are online. We're going to explore a pretty radical idea that the entire system we use to manage that identity is, well, completely broken. And it's high time we took back control. So let me just start by asking you this. Who really owns your online identity? I mean, think about it for a second. Is it you, or is it the dozens, maybe hundreds of companies where you have an account? The answer, well, it's probably a bit more unsettling than you think, and it's the core problem we're digging into today. The thing is, we've built our entire digital world on a foundation of trust. We trust these massive corporations and governments with everything. Our passwords, our private messages, our location data. We just hand it all over and hope they keep it safe. But as we see pretty much every other week in the news, that foundation is cracking. It's leading to a constant stream of data breaches and the slow death of our privacy. Let's just be blunt here. In the system we have right now, we aren't the customers. Our personal data, that's the product. It gets scooped up, bundled together, and sold to the highest bidder. Our digital lives are turned into a commodity. Every single click, every like, every purchase helps build this detailed profile of you that gets monetized. And a lot of the time, we don't even fully realize it's happening. And what happens when you cram all of this incredibly valuable data into just a few central places? You create what the security world calls honeypots. These huge, centralized servers are basically irresistible targets for hackers. It stops being a question of if they'll get breached, and it becomes a question of when. So all of this, it brings us to the heart of the matter, the digital identity crisis. The model we've been using for decades isn't just a little bit flawed, it's inherently fragile, right down to its very design. It's built to centralize all the risk and strip all the control away from you, the user. This whole system really fails in three huge ways. First, you've got the constant threat of data leaks we're all tired of hearing about. Second, there's the mass tracking that follows us around the web, trying to influence our behavior. And finally, and this is a big one, there's a total lack of control. We're locked in. We can't just pick up our data and move it from one platform to another. It's not really ours. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The idea that any one company, no matter how big or how rich or how well-intentioned, can be trusted to protect the personal info of billions of people forever, it's just not realistic. That model is completely unsustainable. Okay, so the current system is a mess. We get it. What's the solution? This is where we shift gears from the problem to a new way forward. And it's all built around this powerful concept called data sovereignty, the idea of taking back our digital selves. The core idea here is this German term, Datensouveränität. And don't worry about the pronunciation. What matters is what it means. It's a simple but revolutionary idea. You, and only you, are the true owner of your data. You have exclusive control. It's not sitting on some company's server somewhere. It's yours. This one principle completely flips the power dynamic back to the individual. And this comparison just makes the difference so incredibly clear. On the left, you've got today's web, where your identity lives on their server, which makes them the target. On the right, you have this new vision. Your identity is tucked away in your own private identity vault. Now, you are the security perimeter. And that giant, tempting honeypot for hackers, it just disappears. There's no central point of attack. Now, this new approach introduces a really clever way to solve a tricky problem. How do we balance the need for real-world trust with our right to privacy? This system works on two levels. First, you have a verified core ID. This is for the serious stuff, right? Banking, legal contracts, things where you need to prove you are who you say you are. But for everything else, just browsing the web, commenting on forums, signing up for newsletters, you can create an unlimited number of anonymous aliases. And the crucial part is, these aliases can't be linked back to your core identity. This makes you private by default. All right, next up is a feature that promises to fix what is, without a doubt, the single weakest link in all of digital security, the password. So why are passwords such a huge problem? Well, because they rely on a secret that has to be stored somewhere and sent over the internet. I mean, we all do it. We create simple, easy-to-remember passwords because we have dozens of them. Password 123 or our dog's name. That makes them super easy to guess. And from a technical standpoint, anything that's stored can be stolen. The concept itself is just fundamentally broken for the modern internet. So how in the world do you log in without a password? It sounds kind of like magic, But it's a really cool process called challenge response. Here's how it works. You say, hey, I want to log in. The service sends back a unique, one-time puzzle. That's the challenge. Your private identity vault uses your secret key to solve that puzzle and sends back the answer. That's the proof. The service checks the proof, sees it's correct, and lets you in. Now, notice what didn't happen. A password was never sent. Your secret never left your device. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. What does all of this add up to? Because this is so much bigger than just a new way to log in. This is about rebuilding the entire foundation of how we experience the internet. A system like UIID is really the foundation for what people are starting to call Web 4. If Web 3 was all about decentralized apps, Web 4 is about a decentralized user experience. We're talking about an internet where trust and privacy aren't just features you have to hope for. They're baked into the system from the ground up. And this really gets to the ultimate why. In our world today, our digital lives and our physical lives are completely intertwined. So protecting your identity online is basically the same thing as protecting your personal freedom. It stops being a technical issue and becomes a fundamental human rights issue. It's about your autonomy. So yeah, this isn't just a nice-to-have feature. It's not some simple upgrade. When you look at the constant failures of the system we have now, moving to a user-controlled identity model is quickly becoming a necessity for our digital survival. And that brings us right back to where we started, but hopefully with a new perspective. The technology to fix this broken system is here. It exists. The only question left is the one we all have to answer. Are you ready to reclaim your digital self?